Professor. I'm really glad to see you and have opportunity to ask you. So I have a problem. I'm new in Dubai, like a few months, and I always spending time indoor, and I'm feeling this air, and it's different by in Russia. And how I can protect myself, and maybe some air cleaner, air filters. What I should use? What is your decision?
And thank you very much. It's a pleasure talking to you. It's a great question because, everybody is very confused as to what is causing it, what is the trigger, how they can prevent it. So in my practice, I see a lot of people with allergies in the airways, asthma, because the dust level is quite high. So we also have dust inside the house or inside the office, and sometimes people inhale these dust particles and get problems from them. So this is very important that we should make sure our environment is nicely cleaned up. There are some things which are organisms of tiny size. They are called the house dust mite, and they sit on the bed where you're sleeping. And it is therefore very important to get the bed linen cleaned up because they could, when they go in the airways, they cause a reaction. So dust can affect people in different ways because we get storms in UAE, and when we get the storms in UAE, the dust is spread out in far off directions. And sometimes, like in this season where we are, it's sometimes good to have the windows closed so that the dust doesn't come into the house. And again, I've talked about the bed linen. This is very important because a lot of house dust mite, which is tiny particles, tiny organisms, they come from the dust particles. And they live on the skin scales on the bed. So they don't harm you, but they are sitting next to you when you're sleeping at night.
Yeah.
So they could go easily in through your nostrils and start an allergic reaction there. So you can have cough, shortness of breath, wheezing, chest tightness, we talked earlier. So these kind of symptoms can be related to the house dust mite, we call that. And some people are allergic to these house dust mites. Some people might not be. But the people who are allergic to do get problems from this. So I would always advise to clean the bed linen, but if you are allergic to them or if you are an asthmatic, you should not do it yourself. You should ask somebody else to clean the bed linen or change the bed linen in the bedroom. And the same goes with then once you've changed the linen, then the person can come in at least half an hour after the cleaning has happened. Same goes with the hoovering. If the hoovering is happening in the room, then nobody should come in there who has allergy to the dust. Asthmatic patients, I mean. So if you give about half an hour, the cleaning has been done, then you can enter the room. Cleaning should be considered at least once to twice in the week to make sure the environment is free of the dust. So this is important to get the bed linen cleaned and bed linen also washed. When you're washing the bed linen, you should make sure the temperature is high enough to kill the house dust mite, to finish them off.
How much degree?
So it is like a high temperature you want. About 50 to 55 degrees centigrade temperature is required. Sometimes you can't do the whole bedding cleaning in your washing machine. Then it would be your dryer that you would put in and set up that kind of temperature. So 50 to 55 degrees, roughly that kind of high temperature does kill the house dust mite and then makes it free. So less likely a problem when you're sleeping on those beddings, and that will be free from the house dust mite. There are some insecticides and sprays that could be used as well, and also steam cleaning also help. And not only the bed linen, also the toys in the house, the cuddly toys children will have, they can sit there and be there, and anything that has dust in there or like the carpet is a big harboring thing in the house. So again, hoovering with good cleaning of the carpet, also moist cleaning of that would also help the bedroom environment to be better. And I think you talked about air filters. They have a very important role, provided they have a HEPA filter. A HEPA filter means that they clear the environment from the dust. Air goes in through them and this clears off the dust particles. So the air that you're breathing at night time is free of dust because of these air purifiers, but they should have a HEPA filter. This is very important. And we know that the sand size is 0.08 to 1 millimeters. The sand particles are very, very small if they're in the room. So it is important to use HEPA filter. It is important to clear the house dust mite. It is important to clean the room at least twice in the week. But whenever the cleaning is happening, people who have allergy or asthma should not be in that room for half an hour. Then I think work environment is very important because the vents of the air conditioners have molds, fungus, and can also have dust there. Not just external cleaning, but internal cleanings of the dust is required. It should be done once every year, like 6 months. Every 6 months it should be done. So 2 in the year basically. And this cleaning also, because this is the air we are breathing in UAE settings, we are mostly in the air conditioned environment. So whatever air we are breathing in indoors, it has to be clean and purified. If it has these allergens, spores, fungus, dust, then it starts a cascade of reaction in the airways. So it's a very useful question that you asked. I hope I've tried to cover it and covered it well.
Yeah,
that in the house, in the room, there are things you can do. And then we can talk about what else goes on when you go outdoor. But at least the problem is when the temperature is high, the humidity is high, the house dust might enjoy that kind of environment. So that's why the time of June, July till about September is a time of high temperatures as well as high humidity in UAE.
Yeah.
So this is important time to be very careful and vigilant. If somebody's got asthma, I always advise them to take the reliever pump with them if they're in the house or even if they're out in the office.
Okay, we catched how we can protect ourselves indoor, and now I want to ask how we can protect ourselves outdoor, especially when we are walking, especially when we are working at desert, for example. Maybe we should put to face some protection, or what? How do you think?
No, it's very true. If you look at any movies which are filmed in the desert environment, you'll see that they're wearing a cloth around their mouth, so something like a muffler, and they usually have some sort of eye protection as well. So this is very true how we should protect ourselves. If you have a tendency of allergy or asthma, then we have to be very careful in this weather where it is hot and humid. So humidity goes up above 50% is dangerous, and also the weather temperatures going above 40. So this increases the amount of dust we can inhale in the atmosphere. The dust is high. So if we inhale these particles, then we are more likely to have this reaction. So asthma can be triggered in this way. So how we can protect is exactly how you said, that there should be a mask. But what type of a mask it should be? The ideal mask is an N95 mask, which does not allow that small size to get through it. Surgical mask or the mask are also helpful, but the best mask to protect yourself outdoors is N95. Now when you get exposed to dust, your eyes become red, you start to water, eyes become watery, and they have skin problems can happen because of dust exposure as well. So this is again very important to protect yourself. Your eyes should be also protected when you are out in the desert situation, and in deserts there's usually dust storms around. So it's your job before you go out. I know if you want to do filming or any work in there, then you should check the air quality index. You have to check the air quality index on that particular day. Then you go into the desert so that you know that air quality is not too bad on that particular day. Because if it's bad, then it's going to impact you. If you're an asthmatic patient, definitely will make you worse. And I told you the reliever inhaler is important, so you have it with you. The reliever inhaler that now we are using is more like a long-acting bronchodilator with an inhaled corticosteroid. Without that, doesn't have any impact or effect. So you should have that with you. But remember, they can get very easily degraded and decomposed. So they can be destroyed if you leave in the car. So the car temperature could be very high. So they have to be in a cool place. About 22 degrees centigrade is less than that should be the temperature in most inhalers, and you keep it with you and you take it into the desert. I've talked about protection for your airways with the mask, and also keep good hydration, good general health. You have to work in that environment and make sure that's not the worst day, because when there's dust storms, they have a lot of dust. The stress level goes very high, and then the asthma sufferers do suffer. 80% of asthma sufferers do land up to emergency department between the time of June and September, October in UAE. This is statistics. It is very important to protect your asthma during this time period.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.